This right here might be my most requested video that I've ever done. Get ready, everyone. It's ramen time. If you follow me at all on Instagram, you would know that I often like to post food pictures on my Insta story because I don't know, I like it. I like seeing what people like to eat on a regular basis. I like posting that kind of stuff, so that's what tends to make up a large portion of my Insta story. And the most common one that you will find in my feed has got to be ramen. And I originally discovered the ramen that Alvin made on his channel, and we had tested it out for a video, and there were a bunch of different variations on it as well that we had found through Tasty, and they were so good. It was one of my top pregnancy cravings when I was pregnant with Connor, and I ate it constantly. I still eat it constantly, and it's delicious. And that's kind of what I felt like doing today. More of a chill video, sharing with you guys the #1 recipe that we probably eat, honestly, maybe 4 times a week, maybe 5, 4 or 5. Make sure you subscribe and thumbs up this video if you want to see more like favorite recipes that we tend to make a lot of, like the muffins, the chocolate cake, the cookies, but just like dinner foods in general too. Let me know if you guys are up for that. So first I want to start with the base of this particular ramen recipe, which I feel personally is crucial to developing a really well-rounded flavor profile. Is this part a little time consuming? Yes, it is. Is it worth it though? 100%. And that is creating the broth or stock. So we tend to make a chicken stock from scratch, and we use that for a variety of different meals, and we'll add it to different sauces and soups and just like everyday meals. Like Chris has like vats of it in the freezer. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris bought 8 whole chickens because we go through so much of this stock. Some people call it bone broth. Sometimes it is referred to as stock. It is more of a gelatinous version. Like typically a broth is just sort of the simmering of the meats and veggies all together, versus a stock or a bone broth, which is like the entire carcass of whatever animal you're using. It is really, really good for your immune system. I am telling you, that right there alone was the reason I did not get sick during my entire pregnancy with Connor, which by the way, was pre-COVID when we were like, you know, out going places. And even outside of the health benefits of it, it is really, really tasty. It has a very intense, like if you're doing chicken, it has like a good chicken flavor. It doesn't just taste like water with some spices in it. It is so rich and hearty, and it makes a world of a difference. Actually today, Chris was making up a batch of chicken and a bunch of chicken stock, so I figured we kind of like film the process. So let me take you back to an hour ago. We are waiting for the temp to come up to 450, and then we're going to roast the chickens. And here they are, completely done. Nice and crispy on the top. It smells phenomenal right now. And then all of the bones and everything of this chicken that isn't the actual chicken meat that we are gonna have with obviously the ramen is gonna go into this pot with a whole bunch of other things to season it for bone broth. So we have onions, carrots, and celery in here.
And the back bones. Whoops.
With all the good stuff at the bottom. You want this stuff at the bottom of the pan to go into this pot. I know the stock has been simmering for a while now, and I wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of an update. I wish you guys could smell it because it smells
So good right now.
So this is just phase 1. This is going to simmer for a super, super long time, well into this evening. And so because this one isn't ready, we're actually going to be using some stock from the freezer. But I figured, you know, good to see the process and how this is put together. Don't get me wrong, I know how like time consuming that is to make, but it's also really, really delicious, and you can use it for like a variety of different things. Like even anytime I need to reheat some like cubed baby food that we've kind of prepared for Connor, I'll throw in a little bit of chicken stock instead of water. Or if I'm making a sauce or something, throw in some chicken stock instead of water. Like it's usable for everything. All right, I think we're ready. Hey Christopher, I have all this stuff on a cutting board. You wanna chop it for me?
You want me to make ramen? That's weird.
I know, what are the chances? Who knew? Ooh, I'm gonna walk through the noodles that we use. All right, noodle time. So we visit a local Asian supermarket, which is super popular here. And these are the types of noodles that we end up getting. So these ones, in case you want to screenshot, these are delicious, by the way. And then sometimes we'll get these like 3-minute ramen noodles. And it kind of depends. These ones have like a little seasoning pack, which we will use often. And then sometimes like for these or whatever, we just kind of make our own spice blend. They're just a better consistency, and they sit, if you're doing a soup, they just sit in the soup better, and they're just overall 10 out of 10. Delicious noodle. Ginger, onion.
Red garlic, please.
Yes, I can. Chris decided it's a very bad idea to attempt to catch a knife. He's fine. It's fine in case anyone's wondering. But I'm gonna continue be chopping now.
So why if you catch the knife, you just can't not catch the knife?
And this is where your downfall was.
Right, I should have caught it.
You should have caught it, but not by the blade. See? This is what we practice, Christopher. Now here's me holding knife, not dropping. I mean, Chris, you could have just said you didn't want to chop it.
I'll do anything to get out of the task.
That was a little irresponsible, I'm not gonna lie to you. 3 garlic cloves. All right, all nice in a pile now. And now we can go on to putting together spices. And Chris is back. Are you feeling better now?
Back and better than ever.
Better than ever, okay.
Sometimes people are like, hey Chris, like you like cooking so much, you know, maybe you should have been a chef. And they're like, why didn't you do that? And I'm like, because chefs aren't idiots. And when they drop a knife, they just let it drop. Because, hey, you can just pick it up. Not me.
Nope, didn't
Not for
happen.
me.
Not today. Okay, spice time.
Just make a quick sauce usually.
So this is the chicken stock from, I don't know, who knows?
Yeah, it was in the freezer, I don't know.
Did I tell you I figured out the difference between stock and bone broth?
I know the difference between stock and broth. I don't know if there's a difference between broth and bone broth.
There is. So the stock and bone broth, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, now you know. And then cornstarch.
A little bit of cornstarch slurry.
Gotta thicken it.
And then I just kind of go in eyeballing it with some garlic powder.
And that will depend on if we use like the spice packets.
Yeah, sometimes I just get lazy and just throw in a spice packet, and that's tasty too.
Yeah.
Ginger powder, garlic powder, and onion flakes.
What would you say, like half a teaspoon?
Yeah. 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon.
I hate people like you.
You know.
I need precise. How much allspice did you put in?
Some.
It's not good enough.
Some to a little bit.
You're like my Oma.
It's like, I don't know, you just make it like this until it looks like that.
I'm like, that's not helpful.
Drops Maggi.
This is Maggi seasoning, and it's delicious. Adds some nice flavor. That soy,
Soy sauce.
1/4 cup?
Yeah, about that.
I'm trying.
A couple badumps of sesame oil.
Did you say badumps?
Yeah.
Dollops, and I've heard.
I think dollop, I think of something more sour creamy,
Yeah,
right? It's a liquid. It
I've
wouldn't-
heard glug,
I wouldn't go a full glug.
and then
And a little
teaspoon
brown sugar.
Brown sugar. Okay.
I'd say tablespoon.
Tablespoon. All right.
Yeah. Oh, whiskey business. Oh.
Cannot forget.
So,
Depends on how spicy you like it. I like to put some on after too.
secret weapon. Not too much. MSG.
Everyone thinks MSG is really, really terrible, but in moderate amounts, it is a very good flavor enhancer.
Sugar and salt are pretty terrible too. Tastes good though.
I eat a lot of that. No one said this is going to be healthy for you. That looks and smells delicious. Now to the stove.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oil in pan. I'm gonna start with the onions before adding in the other aromatics. It's more at like a medium-low right now. Some delicious bok choy. Sometimes we use whatever we have on hand. Unfortunately, we don't have any spring onions, which I like to put on top. Sometimes it's broccoli, but today we have bok choy. I'm very excited about that because it's delicious. Now while this steams up, we're going to add in any protein that you want, if you want to add any protein. We have obviously the chicken from earlier, as well as what else are we putting in?
Some leftover chorizo from last night.
Oh yeah, the chorizo.
Not exactly traditional, but I like chorizo.
Yeah, chorizo is tasty, and we have some left over, so we're gonna add ours in. Ooh, steamed up the whole camera. All right, now the chicken and sausage is being added. We're basically making everything first and then doing the noodles after. This is already cooked, so it's just basically to warm it, and we're gonna add the sauce on top. We're gonna let this come up to simmer, kind of like that. And we're actually gonna add a little bit of cornstarch to this. This is just trial and error to figure that out, just to thicken it up just a bit. Oh, it's looking so good. Now we're just transferring it back to the original bowl that we had all the sauce in. And now we're gonna make the noodles. We have here 3 total bricks of noodles. And we're just boiling some water. We didn't clean the pan, obviously, because it's all gonna be ramen at the end. Now we fry the noodles.
I don't know if this is like the way it's supposed to be done, but I like my noodles fried. It's like a light fry. I just don't want them like soft and falling apart in the sauce, you know?
I'm gonna eat those so much. Now in goes the rest of it. Bring everything together. But this is not it. This is not the end. Because I personally like a little bit of a sunny side up or fried egg on top of mine. And I know oftentimes there are different variations of eggs. It looks like the most common one is like a medium boil, but I like mine fried. So that's how we do it. We put a little sriracha on top, some toasted sesame. I even tried to arrange mine and make it look all pretty. It didn't work though. It does taste good though.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, well I guess we should try it then. All right, let's do this.
I like to break my yolk and get it all runny in there.
Yeah. Kind of adds a little bit of richness to the broth.
Exactly.
The creaminess. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I know I have this, well we have this like 4 times a week.
I was gonna say 4. Sometimes it's 3.
Sometimes it's 5.
Sometimes it's 5.
But I always get excited because it's a nice comforting meal and it tastes so good every single time.
I know.
And regardless of what veggies we have on hand or protein, it always seems to taste good.
I love using up leftovers on this because I don't like them going bad, obviously.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, do you see that? I just lost all of it. I wanted my bok choy.
Man, that's good.
It's so good.
It's good every time.
Every time. I wish we had the spring onions though.
They do add a lot actually for their size.
But otherwise, it's really, really good. And I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people have been asking about it, so I'm happy that we filmed this today.
Really no change to the routine other than we're making it earlier in the day than normal.
It's true. This is like well, we gotta feed the kids and get them off to bed. Guess we'll do ramen later.
We kind of say it like, oh, that's too bad, but it's like, yay.
I told them you bought 8 chickens. Tout le monde de poulet. Because we go through so much of the chicken stock, and I'm telling you, that makes such a difference in this. You could make it with just straight water.
Yeah, or boxed chicken stock.
Yeah.
And I mean, it still would be good.
It would still be delicious.
But the organic whole chickens from Costco make an unbelievable stock.
It's ridiculous. They do. Every single time. It's amazing. Thank you for making this with me.
My pleasure.
And if there are any other recipes that you guys want us to make on camera, like dinner or particular recipes that we've like talked about and we've just never made.
If you want us to make this ramen again,
let us, we can make a second video.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Might as well film it.
Let us know if there are any other recipes and things. But this was a lot of fun, and check out other videos in case you've missed any, and we'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Cookies and ramen.
Cookies and ramen.